Welcome back, everybody, to the Retro Blood as we continue this look into the deep blue sea, this look into the creature that runs the deep blue sea, the Leviathan of the ocean, the great white himself. We are checking out 1980s shark movies.
Yeah.
Here on the Retro Blood. Up next, if y'all like movies that end a franchise, if y'all like family drama with a shark targeting your family, coming after your family for some revenge, if y'all like that Butler Alfred from the Christopher Nolan Batman movies, trying to hit up some old lady who's in trauma because there's a shark coming after her family.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all like Michael, just wanted to catch some snails, not want to do all this shark hunting stuff like the boy Jack does. And if y'all like the Bahamas, filming in the Bahamas too, this is the film for you, because the Retro Blood is talking all about Jaws 4, The Revenge. J.H. Alison, James Kline, what's happening, Alison? How was your trip to the Bahamas and getting attacked by the shark and all that fun stuff? How's that going for you?
This was surprisingly fun. So my trip to the Bahamas is going pretty well.
Yeah.
Better than my trip to SeaWorld, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure. So, like, this movie gets a lot of hate, apparently. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, it does. It has a really bad reputation.
Yeah. Very interesting.
And I had seen it before. I think I saw it when I was a little kid in the theaters when it was new.
Yeah.
But I had not seen it since then. But yeah, it gets a really bad reputation. But it's not nearly as bad as its reputation is, I don't think. It's better than Jaws 3, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, unless we got some shit backwards over here. Like, I mean, yeah, Jaws 3 was fun for the goofiness. You know what I mean? Of it and stuff, and the 3D aspect, and it had a couple cool, scare scenes with that Philip guy getting eaten by the shark and shit like that. But like, when it comes to Jaws, the big thing about Jaws is the relationship aspect of the film. Like, seeing how these characters react to like this threat, and it's kind of like, taking their world for a spin, Yeah, and this one focused a lot more on Helen, the mother of the original film, all right, and her two sons, Michael and Sean. And I thought like the human element in this Jaws came back. I thought it was pretty great.
Yeah. This is more like Jaws 1 and 2, really, and or like, Jaws 1, really.
Besides the hokey, this great Reich is only coming to kill my family. It's not, it's not like a normal shark, I guess. It's not like a, sharks don't like target humans. They just get whatever's in the sea and they eat it, Right. This shark was just targeting the Brody family because it had a revenge. I guess maybe its offspring got killed by the Mr. Brody, Martin.
Now, who knows?
Maybe.
I mean, we have no idea. Yeah. So we've now had 4 sharks apparently that are after the Brody.
Yes.
Strange. Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm guessing that's why it gets most of the hate it gets is because of that plot line. But actually, I thought the movie was fine. Like, what I mean? Like, I thought the acting was good. You know what I mean? But like a lot of people do shit on it, and a couple of them, they kind of shit on the movie. All right.
Yeah.
And apparently, it did do the worst on the box office. All right. And it did do the worst, I guess, on the viewership ratings too, which is strange to me because Jaws 3D, that thing was kind of goofy, compared to this movie.
Well, yeah, but you got to consider too that a lot of people go see movies based on how they like the last one in the franchise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like people like Jaws 2, so a lot of people went to see Jaws 3. So it made more money, but they didn't like it, so they didn't go see Jaws 4 when it came out.
Yeah, makes sense.
So that happens a lot in movie franchises.
Well, we will break it down for y'all here on the Retro Blood, we'll talk about the Jaws of Revenge. This is the last Jaws movie we're doing, too, because they didn't make anything after this.
Right.
Did they? So.
Yeah, they did not. Not in the United States, anyway.
Yeah.
So this is...
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you were talking about, we do have that Jaws 5 that they made. Where they make that in Italy or something?
In Italy, yeah. It came out in the 90s in Italy.
Yeah.
The Jaws 5. I haven't seen it, but I know it uses scenes from all the other Jaws movies. Like the shark scenes are not all of them, but a lot of them are taken from the other Jaws movies.
Yeah.
Shot with stock footage of sharks to make a new movie.
Well, this one had some scenes from the first movie popped in.
It did.
All right. We'll talk about all that. So it should be pretty fun. But yeah, we'll talk about, there is some drama too with this film being made, just like with all of them. All right. So let's talk about the release date of what was going on in the world of the pro wrestling and the metal music around the release date, July 22nd, 1983. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like we're back in July. Looks like most of the Jaws movies came out around July. All right. The most interesting part about this film, though, is that within actually of the film, most of all the film was actually filmed during the summertime. But this movie right here was actually taking place during the Christmas time. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Little
right, but
different
but
concept.
They filmed it during the summertime?
Well, they filmed, well, it came out during summertime. But the majority of this movie takes place over Christmas and January.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And throughout January and stuff. So, all right. So let's talk a little bit about the pro wrestling first. So what we got going on in the pro wrestling. Because I found something very fun for the metal music. All right. Give me 1 second here.
Yeah, sure.
All right. So I found something very fun for the metal music here in a second. All right, so the first thing we got going on is a WWF house show. All right, just something very little. Right. So this house show was actually taking place on July 17th, 1987. Okay. So we got that one right when this, a little bit before this movie came out, a couple of days beforehand. And this one was actually headlined, and a very surprisingly headlined, and actually surprisingly but not surprisingly, because during the 80s that we talk about sometimes, a lot of times, especially because they have this Saturday night main event format where we have some of the big matches up front and then we just end with a tag team match. Well, this house show was no different, because we were ending with the tag team match of the Hart Foundation and the Rougeau brothers, all right, for the WWF World Tag Team Championship, with the Hart Foundation defeating the Rougeau brothers. All right.
Mm-hmm. And so two Canadian teams.
Yeah, two Canadian teams going at it in this house show that took place at the Nassau Coliseum in New York on this day. You know what I mean? What could be more patriotic than two Canadian teams going at it?
Nothing. That's perfect. That's perfect for July.
So we had a couple other tag team matches on here. We had we had the Dream Team, Dino Bravo and Greg Valentine. They defeated the Young Stallions, Jim Powers and Paul Roma. I mean, technically in Jaws land, the Young Stallions would have been Michael and Sean.
Yeah.
They would have been the Young Stallions. Right. And in a Alison special match, we have Ken Patera versus Hercules with special guest referee Bruno Sammartino.
That seems like it was tailor-made for you. Hercules versus and Ken Patera with their, all their posing.
Yeah, all their posing stuff.
With Bruno also posing. Probably.
Yeah. So I would say not like a mega packed show, but it was something for the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's just a little wrestling stuff we got going on this time. The 1987 is definitely a fun era when it comes to pro wrestling. You know what I mean? So we definitely still got the height of Hulk Hogan around this time. So, no matter what show you were going to, but, no matter what show you're going to, I would say I don't know if they would sell out every show, but they would always do the A and the B house shows. So this one was obviously the B house show because it didn't have Hulk Hogan on it. So the next thing we got going on is something fun I found within the metal music. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see what we got over here. Band Alison, have you ever heard of this band before? Great White.
I've heard of them. I remember this album. I don't particularly. I mean, I've heard this album, but I don't know a lot about this album. But I do know their next album, which came out in 1989, which was called Twice Shy. But yeah, so this was they're shark themed, right?
Yeah. I couldn't believe it.
You know, so I don't know. I don't like this band at all. I listened to this album when you suggested we talk about it, and I didn't like any of it.
Loved all of it.
It's just generic. It's just super generic.
Great stuff.
Hair metal. Like it's everything that's like this is why hair metal started declining. Because it's just overproduced, generic, corporate music is all this is. Like, and it's just it only gets worse after this. But yeah, so it was called Once Bitten, and then on the next album, which was called Twice Shy, they did a cover of the Ian Hunter song Once Bitten, Twice Shy, which is like their biggest hit, I believe. But yeah, this was like this was their third album.
Yeah. And
this is kind of like when they started coming up, like I guess like this is when they first started getting, famous or whatever, if you will.
Yeah.
It's got your typical 1980s blonde hair metal girl on the front of the album with a shark teeth necklace and a shark and fin in the background.
That's perfect, man. What are you talking about? First of all, you're getting all this hate on them. First of all, I love this album. I thought it was fantastic. That fucking Lady Red Light shit, that didn't get you going?
No, I'm glad you liked it.
And then they're gonna like, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. I mean, we're talking about Jaws over here, and they're talking about gonna get you. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, gonna get you. This album should have been. I do remember "Rock Me." That's a good song.
Yeah,
Rock Me. But yeah, that should have been in the movie. Gonna get you. Should have been in the.
Bro, because there's like, I'm swimming and gonna get you. She gonna get you. All right, come on down. So you're right. They are a generic hair band. But boy, does this fit the theme of this show perfectly.
It does. You
know what I mean? I could not believe it when I was doing my research about some of this stuff. I found this band. I was like, you're telling me we just so happen to be doing 1980s shark movies. And there's a band who's called Great White. And we had a Great White in this one.
Yeah.
I bet they could have played a couple of these songs in here. Probably 80s.
Yeah, that was definitely a missed opportunity to get some of these Great White songs into this movie.
Yeah, before Sean
their record label should have definitely
what the hell?
Should definitely have capitalized on that for sure.
Yeah, they only this movie like spent almost like 30 million. They could have added these guys in there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gave Sean the Gonna Get You song while he's coming out and doing his thing.
That would have been perfect. Yeah, he should have started playing Gonna Get You every time the shark was chasing somebody.
That would have been hilarious. All right, so we'll place them at the end of the show for the podcast listeners. But I like it, man. That generic hair metal, brother. It always gets me. It always gets me all fired up. And since we've been swimming with the sharks all month, we got Great White on here, rocking out, partying, drinking beer. Come on now. All right.
What else could you want? Right?
What else could you want out of life? So apparently there's a bunch of people that wanted more out of life when it came to this Jaws Revenge. That's what we'll talk about right now. So this movie was directed by Joseph Sergett. Pretty sure I'm saying his name right. And
isn't it Sargent?
Sargent? I don't know if it's
Sargent.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's an Italian.
Yeah, there you go. An Italian guy is on directing this film. So there's a couple things that I thought was pretty interesting about this film. I was doing some of my research on there. Okay. So apparently they're saying the film was made less than 9 months. All right. With the basically being shot mostly in September. All right. And it was shot on location in New England and in the Bahamas. And the rest of it was on the Universal lot, which you could tell at the end of the movie. When they were fighting the shark, it was definitely on the lot. Yeah, you could definitely tell. There's also some of it was actually filmed at Martha's Vineyard too, so they're back over there. I think they got a little less hate because they weren't there as long. I
mean, it seems like very little of it was filmed at Martha's Vineyard. I mean, I think they maybe went for a day or two, and that's about it.
Yeah, not that much at all. All right, so basically around this time, I guess Universal was going through some difficult. All right, the CEO Sidney Shingberg saw that a third sequel to Jaws was likely to make a good profit following the commercial success of Jaws 3D, despite generally getting negative reviews. Jaws 3D, like we talked about last week.
Right.
Stringer also saw an opportunity to promote Jaws rides at Universal. So they were trying to do two things. They were trying to do Jaws rides at Universal and make another film to kind of get them back up and running.
All right. So this is when they introduced the Jaws ride at the Universal Studios.
Yeah,
I guess it was around this time.
Around this time, yeah.
Okay.
So the studio fast-tracked Jaws of Revenge into production. All right, and at first, Stephen Day Jeanette had been approached by Universal head of production Frank Price about writing the script for Jaws 4, as it was then known by. It was just known by Jaws 4, not the Revenge. All right.
Yeah.
Jeanette's script, however, was shelved with Price resigned in September 1986 following the disappointment performance of Howard the Duck. All right.
Wow.
So they're like, no, you ain't writing that shit, brother. After that movie sucked.
No, it's amazing that I don't know if you've ever seen Howard the Duck, but it's pretty amazing that they thought Howard the Duck was going to be a success.
Yeah.
I mean, if you watch it, you're like, why did they believe in this? But anyway.
What's going on with this? So it says around the time Shingberg approached Joseph Surgett. Is it Sargent? I'm ready to go.
I think it's Sargent. It's Sargent.
Sargent about directing the film. Sargent had worked with Lorraine Gary, who played Helen, in 1973's The Marcus Nielsen Murders. All right, from which he won his first Directors Guild of America award. All right.
He also directed The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3, which is a really good movie.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen it. Steven Spielberg cites the television film, which later spawned Kojak. So I guess that's how we got the, that's how we got the, I guess that's how we got the idea for it or something. Has motivation for casting Gary, has Ellen Brody in the original Jaws film. So basically, he liked her performance, Steven Spielberg did, the Marcus Nielsen Murders, and that's how he came up with casting her in there. Speaking of Lorraine Gary, so she was one of the only original actors to be in this Jaws 4th film. Okay,
right.
From the original cast. Now we did have some people from the original film make small cameos, but she was like the only kind of like noticeable character really from the first film, because she came and replaced her role as Helen. And at first, she was already retired from Hollywood. All right, when the director Sargent came and asked her to be in the film, and at first she was like no. All right, but then they offered her a little bit more of the cash money. Let's just say that for her to come out of retirement and do this role. And apparently, she was also at the time. I think she was like engaged or like dating this Schimberg guy. Okay, somebody from the studios. So she got double take on it.
Right.
So that's a little bit about her story. So basically, besides Michael Caine, which we'll talk about here in a second, which is I know him from the Christopher Nolan Batman series because he played Alfred. All right.
Yeah.
He got paid the highest because I guess he was a pretty famous actor at the time.
Yes, Michael Caine is a very, very famous actor who's been in a lot of really famous movies that aren't Batman.
That's the one I know him for, brother. Come on.
But at this point, he was pretty much a star, especially in England. Like he was a very famous English actor. He was in Get Carter, and he'd been in a bunch of movies. But yeah, so I'm not surprised that he got paid the most because he was really famous at the time, for sure.
So the story of them two basically is so with Gary, another reason she wanted to make the film too is because she wanted to work alongside Michael Caine.
Right.
Michael Caine wanted to work with this Jaws movie for one reason. He wanted to film in the Bahamas. All right. Mm-hmm. And they're paying him a shitload of money. Okay.
To be in Jaws 4.
They paid him like $1 million to do this film.
Yeah.
And he's like, I took the role. I only shot. He said he was only there for like 2 weeks. They filmed all his shit in 2 weeks. I couldn't believe it because he was in a big portion of the movie.
Yeah, but I mean, you can all. It's not that hard to like consolidate all those scenes, to one spot, and then get
them all done.
Shoot everything else around him.
Yeah, and he was saying in interviews and stuff, it's like, yeah, like that whole year or whatever, I got a award for being nominated, a Grammy. I think he got some sort of award. And then he paid for his mom a house with $1 million, and he got to go do a trip in the Bahamas. So he was all cool with it.
Exactly.
It's a failed movie.
It's win-win. Yeah, it's win-win for him.
So very interesting. All right. So a couple of things. In an interview with the Boston Herald, Sargent called Revenge a ticking time bomb waiting to go off.
What does that mean?
It's like every Jaws movie always has hard production. Have you noticed it? Like every single one. You know what I mean? I guess what it means is basically he was tasked of filming the movie like quickly. All right. So even with production issues or anything like that, they had to film things quickly. So they left some shit out. I guess.
Right. I guess.
So President Sid Sheinberg expects a miracle. That's what he was saying. Okay. Sheinberg asked Sargent to direct the film in late September 1986. According to Sargent, Sheinberg cut through all the slow lanes and got Jaws: The Revenge off and running. Okay? And then in a 2006 interview, Sargent stated that the premise was born out of a little bit of desperation to find something fresh to do with the shark. We thought that maybe if we take a mystical point of view and go a little bit of magic, we might be able to find something interesting enough to sit through. So that's how they came up with the shark voodoo, according to Michael Brody on this film. The shark's voodoo only going after the Brodies. It doesn't want anything else in the sea. It doesn't want to eat anything else. It just wants to take down the Brodies for revenge. But we don't know why, but it's just going after them. That's the magic part.
Right.
All right. So Sargent hired Michael D. Guzman to write a script within 5 weeks, with the shooting script being completely during production.
Right.
Imagine that. That's like a wrestling thing. You're just writing the shit during the show's going on. All right.
Yeah, like how Vince McMahon would rewrite Raw during the show.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like he would rewrite it as the show was going.
As it going on. Yep. According to the writer, they had the bare bones of a story by October 1986, and by the 2nd November, they had a workable outline for the production team. The first draft was completed in mid-December, and the final draft of the screenplay was dated January 23rd, 1987, just 9 days before filming began in Agertown. All right. The film was developed under working title Jaws 87, which I like that.
I like that. I think that's a better title than Jaws: The Revenge.
Yeah. But by February of 1987, the title was changed to Jaws: The Revenge. All right. Let's see. The film has no correlation with Jaws 3D, which we can tell. Okay.
Yeah.
They did ask some people from Jaws 3D to replay their roles, and most of them shot it down. They're like, we ain't doing that, brother. Okay. They also tried to get, and I couldn't believe this, they also tried to get Roy Scheider to come back again.
Well,
I mean, fuck, bro.
There's no way he's going to.
He denied it. Way. He didn't even give this one, he was just like, nah, I ain't doing that shit. Okay? So basically, what this guy wanted to do, Sargent, he wanted to have Roy Scheider in this film, and then he wanted to have Martin Brody get killed. You know, kind of like how Sean got killed at the beginning of this film. He wanted Martin Brody to get killed in this film, and that's how he would kind of go on from the Helen storylines and do all that. But since he denied it, which is, I mean, obviously that was going to happen if y'all been following this shark drama, okay? That's when they just decided to have him die 18 months before this all happened from a heart attack. All right? And
the man survived 2 shark attacks and then died of a heart attack.
Yeah, man, it happens. It happens to the best of us. That's for sure. And that kind of began the Ellen's emotional problems. Okay. Let's see. So obviously they were doing the less than more approach too, because if you notice in this film they did rely a lot more on the shark vision, and they had the Jake's tracking on him too to show the sharks around. So kind of like the first film where they used the torpedoes and the barrels to show the sharks' movements. On this one they were doing the radio things to show less of the shark. on there.
Yeah, but I feel like the shark looked a lot better in this movie.
It did look a lot better, yeah.
They did a pretty good job of doing the mechanical shark in this compared to the first 3 movies.
It's true.
But yeah, I liked how they used the radar, sonar, whatever to track the shark, and that's why you wouldn't have to have a shark in every scene. Yeah. That was kind of cool.
So basically, the reason they did that was to kind of please the fans. All right?
Right.
Because they thought the fans would appreciate the more approach like the first film of keeping the shark off there. But I guess it didn't work because a lot of people were shitting on it. All right, which I liked. I liked it. I thought it was a good idea.
I mean, I thought it was pretty good. As well, it was a lot better than I expected.
Yeah.
But I feel like maybe in 1987, people were just tired of Jaws movies. Like maybe they just gone on to something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we talk about it a lot, but like there's a huge difference between the 70s and the 80s.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And in the 80s, especially by the end of the 80s, people just were not interested in 1970s stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Star Wars was dead by the end of the 80s. All this stuff that came out in the 70s was just not cool and dead. So I have a feeling that might be why one of the reasons it did poorly as well.
Yeah, I can see that. You know what I mean? But Lorraine Gary, obviously played Ellen. She does praise her character's role because she liked it that the director Sargent gave the character more of a depth, like more depth than she had in the other 2 films. Which is true. Yeah. Like, they gave her a lot more character and a lot more depth and that stuff.
I was going to say, you learn more about her in this movie than you did in any of the other movies.
Yeah. And apparently this was her last film, like she ever filmed. And she came out of retirement after she did the 1941, so she did Spielberg's movie 1941, 8 years later. Or earlier,
right.
Sorry.
Earlier, yeah.
Let's see. So they try to get Richard Dreyfuss to come back as well to play Hooper in the scene. Nope, he denied it. Get on out of here. All right. And let's see. We had a couple people from the first film come in. We had Lee Fermero made a brief cameo as Mrs. Kinker, the mother of Alex Kinker, who was killed in Jaws. Did Fritz I. Jane Courtney, who played Mrs. Taft, one of the Amity Town Council members in both Jaws and Jaws 2. All right, so we had a couple people in there. So like I was saying too, Michael, basically Gary, Lorraine Gary was very excited to play for Michael Caine, and I didn't realize, but until she said it on here in the interview, the first scene that they filmed together was that festival scene where they're all like dancing around and shit. The Junkanoo Festival. I don't know if I said that right.
Yes.
All right.
Sure.
So that's the first thing they filmed together, and she was all praising him for making her feel very comfortable during that. So I thought that was pretty cool. Okay. So, obviously, Michael Caine's thought of the film, like he doesn't really have too much thoughts about it. He just he never seen the film. He knows it was a bust, and he got paid heavy for it. And he's like, well, I seen the first film that started the franchise, so that's good enough. And I was like, brother, that was like me until now, because I never seen any of these movies until we start doing the show.
Right. Like I think he said that he's like, I've never seen it, but I have seen the house that it built, and the house is spectacular, or something like that.
Exactly. Yeah. So I thought this part was pretty cool. All right. So Lance Guest, he played the older son, Mike. Okay. So apparently, about him, we talked about him before, because if you go all the way back to our Halloween reviews, he was in Halloween 2. Okay.
Yeah.
He played Jimmy. He played the love interest of Laurie Strode in that movie. Okay. And apparently he dropped out of his senior year to make that movie, Halloween 2. Okay. So pretty cool stuff that he's now back in this movie. So you go from Halloween 2. He's done a couple other stuff since then, but pretty cool movies for the 80s, Halloween 2 and Jaws 4. So he's a sequel guy.
Yeah. Yeah. So he dropped out of school to be in Halloween 2 and Jaws 4. Congratulations.
Well, I mean, he's already out of school by Jaws 4. Like, Halloween 2 was like 1982. Yeah, so this is like 5 years later. Right. So
I'm just saying, hopefully he went back to school.
Well, no, it wasn't. It was a sophomore year.
Right.
You don't need all that.
I see.
You don't need all that shit.
No, you don't need the rest of it.
You don't need all that crap.
That's good enough.
All right. We don't need all that stuff. Let's see. A couple other fun stuff about the movie on here. Let me go to my other notes on here. come on back out over here. All right, so let's see. All right, so got two sad stories on here. There's two kind of like sad stories that came out of the Jaws.
Mm.
So Murray Hamilton was asked to reprise his role as the mayor in a short appearance at the beginning of this movie. However, he died of cancer before filming started. So.
Yeah. The guy that played the mayor.
Yes.
Yeah, he was gonna be in it, but he died before the filming started.
Another sad story too, which very tragic on this one, was Judith Berzers, the girl who played Thea, the young Thea. This was the last movie before her ultimate death at the age of 10. All right.
Oh, wow.
1 year after this movie released, and Lance Guest, who played her on-screen father Mike, was also one of the pallbearers at her funeral. All right. So it's pretty.
What did she die of?
Let me see. Let's see here. I guess it says. Let's see. All right, so it says on Wednesday, July 27th. I guess it was like 1988 or something. It doesn't say it on here. It says the next door neighbor heard a loud bang next door while watering her plants. The house had been set on fire, and later the Bercy's bodies were discovered shot dead. All of Judith's toys that were not destroyed by the fire were given to the local Goodwill, and her best friend continued to feed her cats for months afterwards. So, yeah, looks like this is a pretty big story over here. So let's see. Yeah, apparently there's a whole background of this I wasn't too familiar with. So apparently, like, as the young Judith's career was going heavily, I bet she had an abusive father. All right, who reckless and constantly threatened to kill his wife and daughter. And stressful mood, Judith bit her nails and plucked out her eyebrows and eyelashes, and her cats whispered. CPS was called in numerous times, but as Maria was reluctant to press charges, and many of the reports accounts were emotional and not physical abuse, the case was not pursued. So I guess they're thinking that the husband killed both of them and then set the house on fire.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Yeah, that's a sad story.
Yeah, so I was like, damn. And, I'm not, I was doing some quick research on that one, and I was like, this is whole big background story stuff. So it was pretty, definitely a sad story. Pretty, it's tragic there. A couple other things. Let's see. Dennis Quaid. Remember the cocaine Dennis?
From Jaws 3.
From Jaws 3. Remember he was on cocaine the whole time?
Yep.
He was asked to reprise the character, Mike, but he declined. He was like, man, I can't get fucked up again. I can't get fucked up in the Bahamas. I already got fucked up in Orlando.
Exactly.
They might kill me out there.
They have they got different rules down there.
All right, let's see. So the film, compared to its predecessors, were a box office success, underperformed and only made $51.9 million off a $23 million budget. All right, the much ridiculed plot was so poorly received that the stand-up comedians dedicated their entire acts to spoofing the movie after it came out. And that's a big reason why Universal abandoned any plans to make any further sequels of Jaws.
Yeah, I mean, I do remember that over the years it's been widely ridiculed as a horrible movie. But it is really strange because it's not as bad. It's not as bad as its reputation is, though. That's really weird. I think people should try to watch it again.
Yeah, I would say watch it again in like new, fresh eyes. This one is definitely not as bad as it was like being received as probably at the time.
Yeah.
So one last thing until we get to our full review of the Jaws. Bruce, the rubber shark, was nominated for a Golden Raspberry Award for Worst Actor in this movie, thus making him the first animal nominee for one since Jaws 3D's Sharks. Since Jaws 3D's Dolphins, Cindy and Sandy.
Right. So they were nominated for the worst actor award before, but now now our mechanical shark Bruce received the award for worst actor.
And something fun, because I like to leave on something fun. Roy Schreiner explains in an interview that because he refused to play a cameo as Brody in this film, Universal Studios considered him snooty.
All right. Right. Because why?
Snooty, flippant, and highly hotly. I guess like snooty, flippant, and basically stuck up because of the bad blood between him and Universal. Schreiner refused to make any films for the company for a long time. So I guess he did come back and make another film for him, huh?
Yeah, but he was not going to be in any more Jaws movies, regardless. And he doesn't sound like he even want to work for Universal. Period.
Yeah, but he eventually would come back to Universal. I'm not sure which movie it was, but I think he did another one with them. Let's see if I can.
It is kind of shitty though that Michael Caine won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for Hannah and Her Sisters.
Yeah,
but he couldn't accept the award because of the reshoots for the movie.
Yeah, the reshoots for the Jaws. Yeah.
For Jaws fucking 4, yeah. Like he couldn't accept his award because of that.
Yes. So that's another funny one on here too. I think the movie he came back for, Roy, was the for Universal. Let me see if this is right. It was 2010's The Year We Made Contact.
Oh yeah, that is a Universal movie, isn't it? So yeah, he came back for that.
Yeah,
because that was a sequel to 2001.
Yes.
Much better than Jaws 3 or 4. I mean, he probably just wanted to make the movie, and he's like, okay, fine, I'll do that.
Yeah. So, all right, give me 1 second on here. Yeah, he played Haywood Floyd. What a name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 2010 is a good movie. It's a good book too, but yeah, it's definitely a good movie as well. Which was, a sequel to the 1969 movie 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean that's pretty fun. So he had a couple drama with Universal, but he eventually came back and did his thing.
Yeah, everybody comes back around eventually.
They always come back to the Fed, the Universal Fed. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But everybody,
as we're seeing now with a lot of AEW people all coming back to the Fed eventually.
They all come back, but actors are no different than wrestlers. You know what I mean? They get their payday. They might complain about the booking, but they'll eventually come back for the cash. All right.
Yeah. How about that Aleister Black? What his career's taken off now that he's back with the Fed, right?
There you go. You just gotta wait for your book. Your chance will be there. You gotta wait for the booking.
Yeah, it took that contract to sit in catering another 2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Well, he's been on there a couple of times with R-Truth.
He has. You're right. He has been on there a couple of times.
But everybody, let's get it going. Let's talk about Jaws 4, aka Jaws: The Revenge.
The Revenge. Let's do it.
Do it.
Instinctively, man has always been drawn to the sea. Its beauty, its mystery, its secrets. But there is also a vague uncertainty, a sense of intrusion into an alien world, where man is unwelcome and completely at the mercy of the most terrifying predator on earth. Man's deepest fear has risen again. Jaws: The Revenge. This time, it's personal.
All right. So we start off. All right. We see some shark vision. It's back. All right. Creeping through the oceans. We're back in Martha's Vineyard, aka Amity. All right. And the shark is looking all the way through the town and the ocean. This shark is
looking for Brodies.
You might say this shark might be out for revenge.
It might be.
With some voodoo magic.
Yeah. Gonna get you.
So now we had the mom for their first movie, Ellen. She's back.
Mm-hmm.
She's back, brother. We missed her in the third film, but she's back here. All right. And, you know, we can automatically tell right away that this film skips number 3. All right. And I guess it doesn't skip number 2. So I guess number 2 is still in the canon, but it does skip number 3.
Yeah, number 2 is definitely in canon, but number 3 is not.
Yeah, because we get a whole new Sean character. Okay. No longer is this Sean from number 3, 3D, where he was scared of the water and trying to get some ass by Kelly. This Sean right here is a respectable police chief who is not scared of the water and is about to get married.
Yes.
All right. So now they're basically, we show them just normal talking, doing normal stuff. They're getting ready for the holiday season. They're cooking a little fish on here. All right. They go out. They see some Christmas lights and stuff all around. They get a call from Michael and Thea. They'll be visiting for the holiday season. All right. And they're basically showing around. Sean is a cop, so he's following in his dad's footsteps, being a cop around the Amity village. All right. He's annoying his mom about doing Christmas stuff. And he's about to get married as well, too. And he's about to go check. Before he gets off for the Christmas season, he's going to go check in to see if he needs to get anything done at the police station. All right. This is when we had the receptionist. Or I believe the receptionist was the lady who had the kid die in the first film.
Yeah, I believe so, yes.
So she was on there. She was taking all the calls. It's all just little stuff, like people calling about little things. But the only thing that she said that he needs to take care of before, he could be off for the holiday season, is there some wood blocking the little pillar that lets the boats know when they can come into the dock. And they need that fixed. And he asked, if somebody else can do it, this other guy. And he says the other guy can't do it because he's tipping cows.
Wow. Okay.
Alison, you're a farm guy. Do you ever tip any cows?
Yeah. No, but it's something I've heard of my whole life, but I've never done it myself.
What's the point of tipping cows in the first place?
I don't know, man. I think it has something to do with just living out in the country and being bored and having nothing else to do. You go out drunk in the field in the middle of the night and push cows over because the lore is cows sleep standing up, which is not really true. Sometimes it is, but not really. But they're asleep standing up, and you can walk over and push them over. Then you all get a good laugh. Ha ha ha! Very funny. Gotcha. But most cows, I don't sleep standing up, from my experience.
Well,
at least
I don't know if you caught this, Alison. I did. Then we could see why the receptionist is talking to Sean about the guy tipping cows. We see on a mantle a picture of Martin Brody. And I wrote in my notes, we see a picture of Martin Brody, the biggest hater of Jaws sequels known to man.
Yes. Yeah. So they used his picture because that's the best they could do.
That's the best they could do. They're like, he was great in the first one, but boy, he hates the sequels.
No.
He ain't showing up on here. All right. So now, Sean complains. He said they tell his family he's going to be home late. All right. So now we have more Christmas stuff going outside. And then we have Michael drives a boat out to that little pier where the little things, light pier thing. All right. Yeah. He drives the boat out there. He sees a big piece of wood blocking the port signal. And this is when we get some shark vision. And then we get our first shark attack, brother. And I thought this was great because I did not expect to have the shark kill a Brody. Because in all the movies, we never had a Brody die.
No, but now it's out for revenge. So
that's true.
You got to get started somehow, right?
That's true. So the shark bits the fuck out of this guy's arm. He's bleeding everywhere on the fucking boat. Shark goes for the boat again, takes the boat under. He's screaming, help, 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 help me. Nobody's helping him because nobody can hear him. All the kids are singing Christmas songs to the background. All right. And then the shark takes him under. And our boy Sean is now dead. The first Brody to die in Jaws. Can you believe it? There you go. Yep. There you go. You can go on a freaking. You can go on the. You can go on the. What do they call it? The circuit now. You can go on the autograph circuit now for just being the first Brody to die in Jaws. You know what I mean?
I'm sure he does. I'm sure he shows up at those horror conventions all the time.
Like the horror convention, you can come up with the one arm missing, blood coming out of it.
Yep.
Come on now.
Yeah, just sign with the other arm.
So now the mom is checking the body. Ellen's checking the body. Of course, it's her son. All right, and now she's all upset about it. And of course, the receptionist is upset about it too. Now this is when the older Brody arrives. Michael, the guy from Halloween 2, is here. All right. He brings his family along, Thea and his wife Clara. All right. They're all hugging each other. Mom's super sad. And, mom's super sad. They're hugging on the beach. They couldn't believe what's happening and everything. The mom's friends are there talking, about the accident that happened as well, too, of how Ellen is not herself. We see that Ellen wants to make some fettuccine, and she's doing it very, when you get all traumatized and you move the pans around really crazy. That's what she's doing.
Yeah, that's what she's doing. Yeah.
And then she eventually says to Mike, "I need you to quit your job." So they didn't really explain what his job was at this point, but I will. So basically, Mike, after getting traumatized on the sea. So, okay, let me ask you something here, Alison. And everybody. So in canon, Jaws canon, all right, Michael was in the first film, and he didn't have too much interaction with the shark. He was on that scene where the girl was doing the painting was like, "Hey, there's a shark over there at the pond area," and Michael was on there, and they took him out before he can get attacked by the shark. Then on Jaws 2, he got tricked by some girl trying to get him some ass on going out in the sailboat. Yeah, all right, and he was attacked on there pretty heavily. On Jaws 2, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, he almost got bit a couple times. Same thing with Sean. So, just like in Jaws 3D, in a way, the trauma to them, they pretty much made a career out of their trauma.
Yeah, I thought that was really weird. Like, after, after being attacked by a shark that size, basically twice, why would you make a career being on the ocean? But, hey,
maybe the only thing I could guess is maybe they get traumatized by it. Because I'm trying to think, okay, what's my trauma? My trauma is heights, like the fear of falling and stuff. You don't see me out there go being some sort of parachute, trainer.
No. Right. Yeah, that's not your thing. No, you're definitely not doing that.
Like, I'm guessing they just didn't get traumatized by the shark attack. That's the only thing I get to guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, like, okay, like if you got attacked by a shark one time, then okay, you're like, that's probably not going to happen again. But they'd been through this twice already. Like another giant shark attack.
Well, Sean didn't because he was just a kid.
Well, true.
But they had their dad go through a shark attack. They went through a shark attack. So, whatever.
And now they're working on the ocean, both of them.
Yeah. Now, Sean obviously took over his dad's footsteps of being the police officer around the town. But then he gets killed by a shark. But then Michael's job right now, he works in the Bahamas and he tracks snails.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah. Conchs. Yeah. So he's working on snail research on the bottom of the ocean in the Bahamas.
I didn't know there was such
How
a
exciting.
thing.
How exciting.
And so this guy, Sean's like, "I'm not leaving my fucking job." She's like, "I don't want you in the water and shit." He's like, "Well, don't worry about it. I'm in the Bahamas. Sharks didn't even go to warm water. We're all good."
I was about to mention that. I just thought about that when as soon as I thought about him being in the Bahamas. That may be why he is working on the ocean, because great white sharks don't go to the water that warm.
Yeah.
Usually.
Something I can think of. All right. So Michael tells, and I could not believe this. It reminds me of our zombie days. Michael says, "Don't believe in that voodoo magic of the shark tracing down us." We should explore more of the voodoo on here. Like, they should have done more of that.
In the novelization of this movie, they do.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So in the novel version of this movie, because in the 70s, especially in the 80s, but also in the 70s, nearly every big popcorn movie that came out had a novelization because it was just money. People would buy the book based on the movie. Yeah. And they're pretty collectible now. They're kind of cool to collect, but most of them aren't very good books. But in the book version of this, the shark is chasing the Brodies because it's influenced by a voodoo witch doctor that has a vendetta against them. So that's why it's happening. Damn it! Because they don't explain it. So they don't explain it in the movie. So the novelist is probably like, "Well, I got to find some reason the shark's chasing them."
A voodoo witch doctor,
and that was it. Yeah.
damn it, where the hell was he or her?
I know that would have been so much better. They should have put that in this movie.
Fuck, now I'm disappointed. I don't know if I only want to talk about it now. We could have had the Return of Voodoo on Jaws. I'd have been like, this is crazy, brother.
We could
have. So now, basically, the mom is saying, you know, it's like, oh, the shark killed your dad. It's like, well, no, the shark didn't kill my dad. Our dad died of a heart attack. All right? Mm-hmm. And Ellen was like, no, he died of fear. And Michael says, and then Michael says, there's not going to be a great white where I'm at. It's warm water. And she's like, your brother's dead, your dad's dead. You could be next. It's like, okay. So now Michael's on the beach. He's upset. He was just saying it was just a piece of wood. Because, you know, his brother was just trying to get a piece of wood out of there. He runs on the beach. Then we get the funerals for Sean. All right. We get scenes from the first movie with Brody and the Sean kid.
Yeah.
All right. We get the Helen and Michael as kids there. They're talking with each other. Michael wants Ellen to come to his island. Okay.
Yeah.
And if they
come
hurry,
to Bahamas with him.
Yeah, they come to the Bahamas. So they get ready, they can go on the 4:30 flight. So they play around. Mom's crying because she's still sad. And then we see the log that apparently was the Sean's demise. All right. So now they're flying to the Bahama Island. They see a parachuting guy. They talk about it. And then out of nowhere, I see Alfred from Christopher Nolan's Batman. And I was like, wait a minute. Is this an origin story of Alfred?
Yeah, this is what he was doing before he became Alfred in the Christopher Nolan Batman movies. He was living in the Bahamas as a pilot.
Hey, you know what?
Before he
had the English accent. I mean, come on, man. All right.
Before he went to raise Bruce Wayne. Yeah. After this, he was like, "Fuck sharks! I'm just going to become a butler."
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I thought. But you know, obviously he's been in a bunch of movies before after this. So whatever you thought of him, that's just where I noticed him from. So that's why I put it in my head there. Okay. So he's now showing Thea how to drive the airplane. They go up and down stuff, and this guy, his main thing, his character, what's his name, Hoagie? Yeah, Hoagie. His main thing was like he always had stories like about everything. It's like, oh yeah, when I went to the winter, blah 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 blah. This stories about little everything. All right. So then, taxi driver takes him home. He's singing some Christmas song for some reason. All right.
Well, it's Christmas time.
Yeah, but do you have Uber drivers just sing you random Christmas songs during Christmas time?
Well, no. I mean, he's a taxi driver, but yeah, I mean, maybe. I don't know. Maybe
is that a request we can do nowadays?
Maybe we have asked. I mean, I think that as antisocial as most Uber drivers are these days, they probably aren't going to sing us a song. But yeah, I mean, maybe he was just a really charming guy and he just liked to sing Christmas songs. Well,
apparently he knew Michael, I guess. So I guess that counts.
I guess.
So they all go home. Thea starts swinging. Ellen freaks out because, you know, she doesn't want people in the water anymore.
And she might get eaten by a shark.
Yeah, and Carla basically has her come back inside. So now Michael is showing Ellen around. All right. Then Michael shows the traumatized Ellen Carla's art piece of a Jaws teeth, I guess. What the hell was this art piece of? Was it supposed to be a Jaws teeth or what?
I think it's supposed to be a shark tooth. Yeah, I think so.
It didn't really look like it. It looked like some sort of like art piece where like, you know, all these arty people look at it and like, oh yes, that right there is it does something with my loins. I like it. All right. So she starts freaking out, and during all this time, I like that Carla. She's like, "Okay, we need some milk and beer." All right,
that's the only thing you need.
That's the only thing you need, man. All right, so now Ellen dreams about her being pulled underwater by the shark. Of course, she wakes up to sweating. All right, now Michael, he is going underwater with some Jamaican guy, and this is when we meet Jack. All right.
Yeah.
So him and Jack are both scientists of the sea. All right. And they're tasked with this job right now is collecting, like you said, snails and was it conchs? Whatever.
Conchs.
Conchs.
Conchs are snails.
Yeah.
It's like a snail inside, kind of like it's like a mussel, kind of. But yeah, he's played by Mario Van Peebles, who is also a fairly famous actor who was kind of coming up during this time, I would say.
Doing his thing, yeah. So they go back and forth with each other. They're very friendly. I mean, well, they're yelling at each other first because Michael doesn't think his tractors work. Jack says his tractors work, and then Jack's like, "Why you got us all working on Christmas Eve overtime? This is all bullshit and everything." And there's then he apologizes because he knows his brother just died. All right, and then they rough around. They rough house around. All right. So then they're all sitting by the Christmas tree now. All right. And this is when Thea, because she's a kid, says, "Did Sean ever do anything bad?" And of course, Ellen's upset. All right. Thea got a tea set for Christmas. All right. Sean follows his mom out there, Ellen. She still wants him to quit the water. All right. And she says, "You could be anything. You could be a teacher. You could be all this stuff." And he's all like,
"No, be anything except a researcher in the ocean."
And he's all like, "I'm just collecting snails. I ain't doing anything hard, brother."
No.
All right. And he says, like, both me and Jack, we're both scientists. We know what we're doing.
Yeah.
I bet
what could go wrong?
Exactly. What can go wrong? All right. Then we get some more shark shots when he says that. So now Ellen's making a shark cast. Well, she's making a sand castle. I was going to say shark castle. That would be something. She gets a little bit on the water. Obviously, she's still freaked out. She gets kind of stoned out there. Then we have Hoagie come back, a.k.a. Alfred. He's back. He says he doesn't know why he's fishing out here. All right, and they start talking. Now you can see that he's going to start flirting a little bit with Helen. Or Ellen, sorry.
Ellen, yeah.
They invite him. They basically invite him to go drink some tea and stuff. All right, so now we have Michael and Jake. They're back. They only have 3 months left of snake. 3 months of snail. My bad.
Snail season.
Snail research and funding. Okay.
Yeah.
Jake knows another guy can give him more funding, but they have to catch like seals and shit like that, and then Michael doesn't want to do all that. Okay. So now Michael sees that his mom Ellen is now talking to Hoagie. All right, and he doesn't really trust it. Okay. Hoagie is talking about she's not crazy and stuff, and all right, he talks about him being a plane rider and stuff, and how he became a plane rider,
a pilot, yes,
a pilot, and then a plane rider. Come on, man.
Sure,
you ride planes, plane rider guy.
Right.
So then he shows her how to fly the plane. Okay, and then he starts talking about a story where he'd been to a bunch of places. The thing I do like about the thing I'm kind of like disappointed that they did not bring up is later on in the story, Michael is questioning who this Hoagie guy is, and a lot of people know his background. And basically they were saying that his background was going to be that he basically flies drugs,
yes,
in and out of the island. That's like, but they actually filmed that too of him doing that, and they totally like just took it away. I was like, damn.
They took that out of the movie, I guess, to make him. Because I guess in the 80s there was a big deal with like people flying drugs into Miami and stuff like that, so they probably just didn't want him to seem like he was a bad guy.
Yeah, because it
he's
was
supposed
weird.
to be one of the heroes.
Yeah, it's weird too because half of the film, like Michael did not trust the guy until like the very, very end. So it's very interesting. So we get a parade. They're both in the parade dancing around. All right. So now Jake is down there. He's now tagging snails. All right. Michael's making fun of him. And then we see the great white has come. He's here in the warm water. I heard that can happen. And here he is.
Yeah, where sharks never come, but now there's this one. I wonder if it could be a coincidence with the Brody showing up.
Are you telling me it could be voodoo magic?
It could be voodoo magic.
Interesting. So the great white skips Jake and just goes after the boat. And they're all shocked. Yeah. They can't believe it's here. Jake says, there's a big-ass fish out here. All right. And then Michael and the crew watch the shark eat the boat. And then while this is all happening, Ellen feels the presence of the voodoo shark.
So now she can sense the shark like Darth Vader can sense Luke.
Oh, shit.
Essentially.
That is correct. Boy, we got a lot of tie-ins. We got voodoo.
I know.
We have Batman, and we have Star Wars now.
And we have Star Wars, yeah.
We're just getting the whole gamma. All right. So then she's like, oh, I'm okay. Then she starts dancing. All right. So now the shark is done biting and it goes away.
Mm.
All right.
Yeah.
And all right. And Hoagie does tell Ellen, like, hey, you know, it's okay. Like, sharks come and go. They don't target people. All right. They're just kind of come and go. You got to start living your life. You got to live your life and not think about all this trauma. You got to have fun.
Yeah, exactly.
So Jake is all happy now. All right. Because, you know, he didn't get attacked. The shark just bit the boat and went away. But Jake's all happy now. Like, oh, shit, this is the first time they ever had a great white in the Bahamas. Like, they can make pretty good money off this. But Michael doesn't want to do it, and he looks very nervous. All right?
Yeah, because he's starting to figure out now that, okay, maybe the shark is following them.
Yeah. Because he's worried why he doesn't know why it's in warm water. That's very strange. All right? And then basically Jake's kind of like, you know, he does say it later on too, but Jake's like, okay, well, you know, the shark will, you know, he'll realize it's warm water and get out of here, but we got to track it by now. Okay? And then Michael says, hey, please don't tell my psycho mom that there's a shark here. I'm trying to keep this job, brother. Okay? So now Ellen and Hoagie, he takes her back to the home. He's telling some more jokes. Michael looks on. Wife says, hey, you know, I work, you work. She needs somebody to take care of her and keep her mind off things. And he's like, yeah. Then wife takes off her panties. Flicks her panties over to our boy Michael's. And it's all like...
Well, that'll take your mind off of things.
And she was all like, I have something to take your mind off, sailor. Brother. If somebody... Boy... If some girl
at that point, you're just like, what shark?
Bro, what shark, brother? If some girl called me sailor, we're fucking that day, brother. All right? I'm telling you, brother.
Yep.
Let's go. All right?
Yeah.
It's like, Mike, his scene's ending right there. Everything's all good.
Yep. All right? That's it. He survived. The rest of the movie, never had to fight a shark.
All right, so now we get the... all right, so now you can see that Hoagie and Ellen, they're flirting a little bit, and they say goodnight. All right. Then we got the crew. Then we get the whole crew at this gambling event. All right. And Hoagie's there. He's gambling. He loses everything, and he laughs about it. Probably because, you know, he makes a shit ton of money because he does drugs in and out of the islands. Drugs. Yeah, that we can't hear about in the film. All right. So now we have Jake's girl. She's getting off work, and they're all celebrating New Year's. This is like her New Year's party and stuff. Okay. And she tells Jake, hey, you better not be weak on the knees tonight.
Ooh.
Because she's ready to fuck. All right?
She's ready to go.
Let's go. All right. And then Jake almost spills the beans about the shark. They tell him not to. And then Helen goes dancing with Hoagie. Michael doesn't like it because he doesn't know anything about Hoagie at all. He walks to cut them dancing off. Hoagie's like, oh, yes, I wish more sons would do this about their dancing with their mothers. So they're dancing. Ellen says she does like him. Michael doesn't trust him. Ellen now apologizes. Says she wants, you know, she doesn't care about him going to the ocean anymore. She just doesn't want to, you know, feel bad as she wants to, you know, move on with her life. Right? And then Michael still looks worried because he doesn't really trust Hoagie. So now we have Michael meets Jade on the boat. Jake gave the crew the day off. He doesn't know why. And now Jake is making a probe so he can probe the great white shark.
Yeah. So now he wants to go search for the shark.
Michael's not cool about this. He's trying to back up his stuff saying, well, I'm not doing this. I'm not putting my name on this. And Jake's like, listen, man, like, this is the first time thing. All we can do is probe him. All right? All we're going to do is probe him. We're going to track him. We're going to wait till he leaves the warm water. And then we can go back to snails.
Yeah, nothing could possibly go wrong.
Come on. This. We are scientists, man. This is what we learned in school. All right?
Yeah, nothing can possibly go wrong.
We ain't like a real fisher guy like Quint. No, we learned this shit in school, brother. So everything's fine. All right?
Wow.
And then Michael's like, oh, man, school? Yeah, that's right. You make a good point. Okay, I agree. I was like, come on, man.
Wow.
All right. All right, so Michael also says, I don't know shit about electronics. Brother, you better get with the time. It's 1987. All right.
Yeah, you got to get you're in electronics.
We have VCRs going on right now.
Exactly.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right. So now Michael and Claire are arguing about trash. They're not sure why they're arguing with each other. I guess because Michael, he's ever since he's seen the shark, he's been acting a little different, kind of like his dad did in the first film.
Right.
And they don't know why they're arguing, but Claire needs to go back to her welding. Then Michael's like, well, you don't know, but when I was a child, I dreamed about an angry welder, and I was dreaming about having sex with them right there in their garage.
What a weird story.
You never had, never had dreams about sex
I've
welding?
Never had dreams of, no, I've never had dreams about having sex with a welder.
You know what I mean? Take out the little soup, brother. See what they got over there. Start foraging some of your own, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that was such a weird story and such a weird addition to this movie.
Well, it's 80s, fine. Bro. It's 80s. If you say any of this stuff to these women, they'll just be like, oh, yeah, I'm ready to go. Like, you could say anything to these women, brother, and they're just ready. All right?
Wow. Yeah.
All right, so now, after he got his welding on, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, he got his... Yeah, they got welded.
Yeah. Jake and Mike are back, and they got the crew, and now they're going to be looking for the shark to probe it. All right?
To probe it.
No, we see the shark fin is coming.
Last month.
Well, you could probe a shark. Bro, imagine if we had Christopher Walken in this fucking movie. Holy shit, brother. My brain could not take it.
Yeah. Instead of Michael Caine, or have them both.
Oh, shit. What if he was Hoagie? Oh, my God.
If he played Hoagie? Yeah. Wow.
Oh, my God. I think I would have passed out on the floor watching this or something.
What if you had Christopher Walken play Alfred?
Yeah. Oh, shit. I couldn't handle any of that. Christopher Walken playing anybody, taking over roles that I've seen before, I just couldn't handle it. All right, so now they lower some shark meat. All right, shark comes and eats it. All right, and then Jake gets it with the probe. Okay, and then now they're checking to see if it works. It does it at first, but then they get it to work. Hoagie's back. He takes Helen to eat, and he talks about winter stories, about him going on winter, and they want 2 Bahama mamas. We should have had 2 of those for this review. That'd been nice.
We needed them, yeah, for sure.
Hoagie wants to take her, and then he's like, I have an urge to kiss you right now. And then they kiss. Well, first she's like, she starts flirting. Oh, I don't know why. Are you blind? He's like, I'm not blind. I'm a pilot.
I can't be blind.
I have perfect vision. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So now they check the probe. Michael's asked how long then Michael, during the checking, Michael is asking Jake how long he's known Hoagie and about Hoagie, and Jake doesn't really care. He's just answering little questions, and he wants to see if this probing works. Okay. And then this is when Michael's like, I think he's flying drugs in here, and then we never talk about it again.
No.
All right, then that's about it. All right.
No, the mob got to him, so you can't talk about it now.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So now they said they lost the shark. All right, and then they want to go find him tomorrow. All right, so Ellen now talking to Claire and says, all we did was kiss. Drama. All right, then they talk about Hoagie and about him wanting to take her off somewhere. And she didn't go with them, but she was highly thinking about it. Mm-hmm. All right, Thea comes in, and now it's tea time with Thea. All right. Now Michael is having shark dreams because of voodoo magic. Mm-hmm. Michael at the table with Thea looks concerned. We do a scene that we did at the first movie.
I was about to say that was kind of cool where they took that from the first movie with that him and his dad. Was it Michael? It was Sean in the first movie.
Yeah, it was Sean in the first movie, yes.
Yeah.
And then now it's with Michael and Thea in this movie.
And Thea, yeah.
All right.
That was kind of cool. I like that. I really did like that scene a lot.
Yeah, and Hello Mach. This is a very nice scene. All right. She tells Thea to go to bed, and now they could talk. Helen said she's going to be leaving in a couple days, and she doesn't want Michael to be mad because, Michael's been mad about her seeing Hoagie because he doesn't know anything about Hoagies.
Right.
All right. I know a couple of things about Hoagies. Too much bread for me.
They taste good.
Yeah. Too much bread, but it's pretty good. Then she said, you've been moping around lately like her dad did. All right. And she's like, even though you're my son, I'm still your mom. So I still need to check on you. All right. So now it's the next morning. Michael's now getting some snails. Tells Jack, Jack basically tells him to stay within 3 miles. All right. And then while this is happening, the shark radar comes back on, and Jack tells him to get out of the water. There's a shark coming. All right. But then the shark attacks Michael's little scooter boat. All right. Underwater.
The little submarine thing.
The little submarine scooter boat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think it works off quarters? Maybe. All right. So the shark attacks the boat, kills the boat. Michael swims away, but Jaws follows him.
Right? Jaws follows him.
Michael goes inside a sunken ship. I thought this scene was all really cool. I actually thought this part was cool. All right. And the shark follows him throughout the whole sunken ship and everything. Michael gets away from the shark, like open up a door and gets away from him, but he falls down. And then they're trying to get him back up to the boat. All right. And then the shark breaks through a wall. We got a fucking shark breaking through a wall over here. And he's
that looked pretty cool, too. That looked
fucking cool. Like, he's breaking through a wall.
Yeah, this whole scene was good.
Yeah. And then Michael, to get away, he pops the air tank, and that's how he flies up to the top. And then he gets out of there.
Yeah. It does seem like the shark changes sizes, though. Like in this scene, it seems like it's a lot smaller than the shark at the end of the movie, for whatever reason.
Well, too bad we didn't get the shark in 3D, though. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
Oh, a little side note. Apparently, the director... I couldn't believe this. I forgot to mention this. Apparently, the director, Sargent, he wanted to make this movie in 3D also.
Wow. Right?
But the studio or somebody told him, I don't remember what it was. It was probably just like the studio or like the effects guy saying,
no, we're not doing it.
No. You can't use 3D cameras in the Bahamas because of the climate.
Okay.
So because of the climate, we didn't get it in 3D.
I didn't know that, but all right, very good. I wonder why that is. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know. All right. All right, so then they take Michael back, and then now Michael's having the cold sweats of him, almost getting attacked by the shark. I guess again, technically, because he got struck by as a kid. Now he gets attacked by when he's an adult. All right, so now he gets out, and then now it's the next morning, and then we have Jake says there's next morning he says, you're not going back in the water. You know what I mean? We don't know where the shark is at, and you're not going back in the water. And this is when Michael's like, I'm going back. I can't live in fear. So he goes back to the ocean.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of weird. He goes back the very next morning.
Yes.
To the ocean.
And then Michael's going down there anyway. All right. He said he was scared, but like he wants to conquer his fear, like I was saying. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now Michael has Jake test the motors. All right. And Jake does a comment saying, maybe the shark only likes white meat.
Ooh.
I like it. And then we had an eel scares Michael in there. So now we're back on the beach, the Bahama beach. Clara's having her art piece on display while somebody gives a speech about it.
Mm-hmm.
Jake and Michael are late. Thea wants to go swimming, so she gets on a yellow raft. Ellen's all concerned about it. Claire's, I guess it was her art. All right. I don't even know what the hell this thing was. I guess it was, we still don't know what it was. Alison said it's a shark teeth.
I think it might be a shark tooth, but I have no idea.
So then, while Thea is on the yellow raft, I thought this scene was pretty cool too. Shark shows up. The great white has showed up. Helen freaks out. She says shark. Clara sees it now too. They say shark. They start screaming for Thea because the shark is going after Thea. Mm-hmm. Shark attacks the yellow raft and misses Thea, but it grabs this one girl on it. I guess it was like the rider that was riding the kids on the raft. The shark grabs her by the leg and it starts to eat her.
Mm.
All right, and then they eventually get the yellow raft back, and Thea's okay and everything. But the shark got one victim and it leaves. All right.
Mm.
And then Ellen is now super serial, and she takes a boat and she's going to get this shark on her own. Even though, through the whole Jaws series, she has never done any kind of fishing or we've never seen her on a boat ever.
So this is going to be my question. Like, how does she? We have not established that she knows how to drive a boat, but all of a sudden she can drive a sailboat.
Well,
and she's somehow going to kill this shark by herself.
Well,
I guess
her driving the boat was fine because she's lived on the islands for her life. I guess she knows how to do it, but we haven't seen her in the whole series be, going after the shark or know what to do. Okay. But now, since she heard so many stories that her late husband has told her, now she has become a shark hunting expert.
Oh, well, that's a good point. Maybe he taught her how to kill sharks because he killed 2 of them.
Yeah.
Two giant sharks. So, who knows?
Like, maybe she did some schooling about it. All right.
Maybe.
So now Michael comes in, talks to Clara, says Thea was attacked by a shark, and he's like all upset about it. And then Michael says, like, oh, man, we knew about the shark, but I didn't think they would go out. I didn't think they would, come out to this warm water or nothing. But we knew there was a shark. We were probing it and testing it. And they got all upset. Like, you knew there was a fucking shark out here and you didn't let us know? Why didn't you let us know? They start pissing. And he's like, where's my mom at? And then he's like, the mom took a boat and she's off. He's like, oh, no. And so then he leaves while his wife and Jake's wife were yelling at him. All right. Yeah. And then he grabs Jake and they go on. They both take boats to try to go find their mom.
And a little tiny boat.
Yeah, little tiny boats. So with their little tiny boats, they run into Hoagie, who's also on a little tiny boat. And Hoagie says, we're not going to do anything on this boat. Let's take to the skies.
Yes.
All right.
He's going to fly them to catch up with Ellen.
Yes. So now he's saying that the shark is probably going to find Ellen. Mm-hmm. It's going to find Ellen because she said that she knows this was going to happen. And her theory was this shark was going after all her kids. Okay. And it's coming true. Mm-hmm. So she knows it's coming back. One might say for revenge.
Revenge? Yeah.
And then to kill the storyline because we're not using the scene anymore, Michael asks Hoagie, what do you do when you're not flying people around? Hoagie says, laundry.
Laundry.
Okay.
Yeah. So if we'd added the drug running, that would have made sense, right?
Yeah. So Shark finds
it's a weird line.
So Shark finds Helen. God, I keep saying Helen. It's Ellen. Fuck.
It's Ellen.
All right, whatever. It keeps finding her. Airplane doesn't go any faster. That's what the Hoagie says. Ellen sees Shark coming, and she's like, "Come get me, you son of a bitch!" All right, and all right. So they see her and the shark. So basically, on the airplane, they see her and the shark. All right, the shark now flops near the boat a little bit. All right, and then this is when Hoagie calls in about needing. He calls in saying, "Hey, I need some boats out here, and I'm gonna land this airplane." All right, so he lands the airplane in the water for the first time. Okay, and he is surprised that he made that landing. Okay, and that's when everybody jumps out. Jake and Michael go to the boat where Helen's at, but then the shark attacks the airplane with Hoagie on it.
Yeah,
and it goes down. All right, so now Helen's all upset, saying like, why did you bring it out here? What are you doing out here? I was like, well, fuck, you're the one that caused all this, going crazy on your own. What the hell were you supposed to do out here? All right. And this is when we see that Hoagie is okay. He got away. Kind of like Hooper in the first film.
Just like Hooper. He just got away.
All right. And this is when now Jake and... All right. Hold on a second. Okay, this is when Jake comes up with a plan by using some electric shock airwaves on him, because he's going to use this electric shock because of the probe, and that will electrify the shock of the shark to kind of scare him and get him away. That's the plan. Okay, maybe even blow him up. like we did in the second film. Okay? So they prepare for all this to happen.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Hoagie is telling Ellen to use the boat. She's not listening because she's totally useless. Michael is preparing to get Jake on top on there, and they're going to try out his plan. So now we have Jake on top of the part of the boat that sticks out. He's on there. Mm-hmm. The shark jumps out of the water like Free Willy. The flashlight electric thing that Jake has puts it in his mouth, but then while he puts it in his mouth, the shark grabs Jake and takes him underwater.
Right.
And then we get a really cool scene of the shark and Jake's body, like it's like taking him off to go eat him somewhere.
Yeah, and he's like, you can see him like hitting the shark, trying to get out of his mouth. That was cool. Yeah.
Now that's not as creepy as Philip from last week reviews Jaws 3D getting swallowed whole by the shark. But I thought that scene was pretty cool though, of them taking.
Yes.
So now, Michael, in his Halloween 2 style acting, if I may, Jake, no.
It got really annoying in this movie how everything at the end of it was in slow motion.
Yes. Everything was in slow motion.
Everything, the shark coming out of the water, every single thing, it would just go into slow motion all of a sudden.
Yes. All right, so it's all in slow motion now. Now Michael is taking over the plan. Remember, he's not good with electronics, but he's going to take it over anyway. To try to shock the shark. All right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now Hoagie's saying there's water pouring in the boat. We got to pour it out. All right?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to try Jake's plan. Ellen has flashbacks now of Sean's death. Now, Alison, she has flashbacks of Sean's death, but she did not witness Sean's death.
Yeah, I was wondering about that too. How is
I can explain it.
Okay, very good.
Hold on, you broke up for a second. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
All right. So I can explain why Ellen has flashbacks of Sean's death, even though she wasn't physically there to witness it. You know what it is there, Alison?
Okay. What? Voodoo?
Voodoo magic.
Yes, of course. That's the answer to everything. Every island movie, the answer is always voodoo.
So then we have, then she sees Thea's stuff, but she was there to witness that, so I was okay with that one. Okay?
Yeah.
So now Michael's using Jake's equipment. All right. Then Ellen, because she's having all kinds of flashbacks now she has a flashback to another scene she wasn't there, but she probably got heard of it 1,000 times. She sees Martin Brody shooting the shark from the first film. So I can accept that one.
I was about to say she also wasn't there, but yeah, she also remembered that. But but she just heard about it.
So now, since all these flashbacks are going into her mind in voodoo magic style, she is now taking the boat and she's going to run the boat into the shark. All right. So she runs the boat into the shark while using the electric from Jake's plan, and this shark explodes everywhere.
Yeah, just like the first one.
Now, also, I'm going to ask you a question.
Yeah.
What shark death scene was your favorite so far? Was it Jaws 1?
The first one.
Hold on. We're going to even let me explain them all yet. All right? Don't be jumping to the conclusion here. We have Jaws 1, where Martin shoots the shark through the air tank and he blows up.
Yeah, smile, you son of a bitch.
Yes, yeah. Then we have Jaws 3D. Oh, no, sorry. Then we have Jaws 2, where they use the electric line and the shark just bites it and he blows up. All right. Then we have Jaws 3D, where Michael, I believe it was his wife at the time, blows the grenade. All right. That was in the hands of the dead Philip, and the shark blows up in 3D and we see his teeth.
Yes.
All right. Or we get this one where they ram into the fucking shark and he blows up. Yeah. Which one did you like? So you like the first one, basically. I
like the first one, yeah. I like the smile, you son of a bitch, and then the shark blows up. I love that.
I like this one. I thought this one was pretty good. Runs into the shit, blows up and everything. It's all slow motion 3D. Well,
so they shot. This is not the original ending of this movie.
Yeah.
So the theatrical version, the one that I saw, she just stabs the shark, and then the shark's like this big rubber shark is up out of the water, and then it's impaled in the front of the boat, and then it just kind of sinks into the water, and that's it. And also, Jake doesn't survive like he does in this movie. But these are the reshoots they had to do. That kept Michael Caine from getting his Academy Award. They reshot the shark that scene.
They're like, Michael Caine, we need you back here because we need you to take water out of a sinking boat for 5 days.
Right. Like, why did he even need to be there for that? Like, they could have shot that scene anywhere. But yeah, so in the original version the shark doesn't explode, but it doesn't really make any sense, like why the shark explodes. I mean, other than that electrical impulse thing in him, but it doesn't make him blow up in any other way. It just looks like he blew up because he just like, she stabbed him. Yeah, she stabbed him with the boat itself.
So then they all fall. Yeah, they all fall off the boat.
Right.
The shark's dead body floats away. Michael now gets Jake. He's alive in this one. This ain't the theatrical version.
Right.
So wait. So you're saying the original version that showed in theaters, that was the ending you were talking about, where Helen stabs him and everything, and they changed it when they go into what?
So so when they released it on DVD, they changed the ending.
Interesting. But how did you do reshoots then?
So they did reshoots. I don't know why they did reshoots, but I don't understand this part of it. But they did reshoot an ending, which is the ending that we see now.
Yeah.
But I don't know why. I don't know why they did it. I mean, in 1987, they weren't thinking about DVD. I don't know if the VHS version has the theatrical ending or the regular ending in it. So I'm not sure. I've never seen it on VHS, so I don't know which version is in the VHS. They might have just reshot it for the VHS version too, but it doesn't say that. It says that it was reshot for DVD and was released on the DVD as a changed ending, not an additional ending.
Interesting. So here's what it says here.
They didn't like the ending. Yeah. The producer didn't like the ending, and the audience didn't like the ending either. So they shot footage to show Jake surviving, and then they shot a different ending for the shark.
Yeah. So I guess it
was used on home media releases. So yes, it was used on the VHS. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess the film that was screened in the U.S., the shark bleeds out and dies after being impaled, like you said. So.
Yeah, and you can see it on YouTube.
Yeah.
The original ending, and it just bleeds and then sinks to the bottom.
Yeah, because most of the stuff I watched, because I watched this on Peacock, so it had the re-released DVD release. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was the reshoot started 5 days after the movie came out in the United States. So it was released in the United States, and they immediately called them back to reshoot the scenes, which is really weird, right? It was that's the only movie I can think of that had reshoots after the movie was released.
Yeah. So in the revised ending, Michael does find Jake, and they joke about Jake doing something stupid like dying, and then they all see Ellen go off in the airplane with Hoagie as they both fly away, and he tells some rambling story. So very interesting. Which one do you like better? Do you like the shark just bleeding out and being impaled, and Jake dying, or do you actually like the shark exploding?
I guess I like the shark exploding better, but I don't really like either one of these endings, to be honest with you.
Yeah, some of it was it wasn't my favorite.
It just doesn't. There's not even any kind of establishing shot for why the shark explodes. Like, it just all of a sudden blows up for no reason.
Yeah,
like, I don't know. It's okay, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it, everybody.
That was it. That was all for Jaws.
The Revenge.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us here on the Retro Blood as we finished up all the Jaws movies, apparently. Very interesting. We did 2 Lights Out. Check us out. Jaws 50th Anniversary and Jaws 2. And last week, we did Jaws 3D for our Shark Month here on the Retro Blood. And now we finished up with Jaws the Revenge. So,
yep.
Alison, if you were to rank them, How would you rank these Jaws movies?
I would rank it Jaws 1, Jaws 2, Jaws 4, Jaws 3.
Yeah, I'd probably do the same. I definitely do the same. So
Jaws 3 is by far the worst one.
Yeah, it was just too a little bit too hokey.
Yes.
So
just two 1980s even for us.
Yes. Well, besides us coming maybe later on doing some of the Italian Jaws style films, we're gonna close the chapter on the Jaws movies, but we are not
more shark movies.
We are not closing the chapter on the shark movies because we're keeping that train rolling, brother. Okay. Because we're coming back to finish off this Shark Month with 2 more 1980 shark movies. We have Deep Blood.
Yep.
Blood of Deep.
Sounds great, right?
Yes. If y'all want to find it, you can find it on Flex, apparently. And to end this month, we're going to be doing Night of the Sharks.
Yeah, sounds like 2 classics.
So you can find should be right good, here. Right? Yes, but you can find it right here on the YouTubes. So
YouTubes.
But yeah, man. I mean, this has been, just for our Jaws section, it's been very fun. I think I enjoyed all the movies for their own they were purpose. Yeah, even Jaws 3D, even though it wasn't our favorite, it still was a pretty exciting movie, I would say.
Yeah, I agree.
And it just still surprises me that we're in 2025 and there hasn't been an American Jaws movie remade yet. It's crazy.
I'm really surprised they haven't either remade it or tried to make a new one.
Yeah, exactly.
Another sequel.
So maybe it's coming. Because what's very interesting about, the Jaws and stuff, what do we like, it helped, people research sharks more. You know what I mean? Put more of a focus on it.
It did. It did. So it did a lot of good and it did a lot of harm, right? Yeah. So it made people afraid of sharks when they really weren't before.
Yeah.
But it also made people research sharks more. So we know that how sharks operate and we know that they don't really necessarily look to attack people. They just do sometimes. Exactly.
Very interesting.
But people kill way more sharks than sharks kill people by far.
Definitely. Yeah.
So,
But everybody, let's get on out of here. And speaking of sharks, let's play some Great White.
Yeah.
Here, brother. All right. Alison might be hating on the Great White. But you all can have your opinion about it when I play this great song on here. When I play the Great White classic, Gonna Get Ya.
Gonna Get Ya. That's perfect for this.
Because we know that shark, with his voodoo magic style, is gonna get them Brodies. And then explode at the end.
Yep. Absolutely.
But everybody, thanks for joining us here on the Retro Blood. James Kline and J.H. Alison. We will see you here next week for Deep Blood.
See you guys.